Hello everybody, today is Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. Greg Marino back with another video. All glory to God and Jesus Christ, part 5. I filmed 5 videos today. I'm like going insane. I've been doing this for like 12 hours direct, and I read for like 10 hours yesterday. Like, I love you, God and Jesus Christ, you know it. But I had to get to this. Unfortunately, the weeks were done in 2 parts by mistake. Every time I finish a video, I get recharged. And I got to go to work. I got to work today, but I want to get this out there. We're going to talk about the TARES. Okay, we're going to finish it off with the TARES. So, having trouble understanding the world, let me break it down for you. Again, this video will be at lifeenhancement123.com. I put out 4 videos. So this one was video number 117, the devil and the minions, video 118. The wheats were going to be in video 119 and 120. And the TARES are going to be in video 121 on my website, lifeenhancement123.com. Check it out. I got a lot of great videos there, videos that I can't put up on YouTube. I also have a Donate Now tab and a book now. If you guys need a consultation and you want to talk to me and work with me one-on-one. But let's get to it. We're going to talk about the TARES. We'll start with Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. So these are all the minions of Satan, right? These are not the demonic, the demons, but the people that are indwelled by the demons, our loved ones. Unfortunately, some of them are. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And I come across a lot of people in my car, and I talk to them, and they're always telling me, or I come across people on the street, and they're telling me, you know, Greg, my mother's doing this to me, or my best friend's doing this to me, or my kids, or my spouse, or my father, or my cousin, or my sister. I've heard some crazy stories recently, and it's unbelievable. But, the Bible warns us, your enemies will be in your own household. God's trying to prepare us for that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 12, verses 44 and 45. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. And the last state is worse than the first, because 7 spirits come back and they indwell. And what that is for you chosen ones out there that have learned the truth and have fled your wicked ways. If you black pill, which means to go back, like a dog returneth to his vomit, so does a fool to his folly, right? If you go back to the way you used to live your life, because you realize that this life, the sacrifice of this life is just too much for you, then 7 spirits worse than the first will come in and indwell. And the state of a man is worse than he began. And so I warn you guys out there, don't fall victim to this. Don't become a tare for that reason. Let's go to Luke chapter 11, verses 46 and 52. And he said, Woe unto you also, ye lawyers, for ye laid up men with burdens grievous to be borne, and ye yourselves touch not the burdens with one of your fingers. Woe unto you, lawyers, for ye have taken away the key of knowledge. Ye entered not in yourselves, and them that were entering in ye hindered. I talk about this in other videos, but when you go to court, you're railroaded. What does it mean to be railroaded? You're led down a narrow path with a predetermined outcome. They already know what the outcome is going to be, and they're colluding against you. It is a huge fraud. It is a deception. It's all about getting them to get you into the right jurisdiction so they can be trustees to your trust. So they can be beneficiaries to your trust. And that's what it's about. And it's a huge fraud. And where I currently live right now, there are billboards. And all these billboards, they're up all over the place. Every single one of them has an attorney. People are meant to believe that attorneys and lawyers are what you need. They are your enemy. You should treat them as such. And you'll start to see as you reveal the truth that the Bible's been telling us about these enemies for a long time. Right? Who are the enemies of Jesus Christ? The scribes, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, which are today's modern day priests and pastors, the physicians, the attorneys, right? These are all the people that were enemies of Jesus Christ. They should be your enemy. The false teachers, the false prophets. Let's go to Luke chapter 22, verse 3. This is an important verse for you people out there so you can understand why your loved ones are acting the way that they do and why Satan is using them. Okay? God has warned us about this in Luke chapter 22, verse 3. How he's using them so you can understand this, so you can see the truth. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. Then entered Satan into Judas. What does that mean? Satan entered into Judas. Okay, for all you people out there that are not understanding spiritual warfare, God is telling you, Satan entered into Judas. It is a spirit. These people that are weak, fleshly vessels are spiritually indwelled by these demons. And God is showing us that it's possible in Luke chapter 22, verse 3. Let's go to John chapter 3, verse 19 for you TARES. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Right? It's the reason why people don't like me. The evil, the darkness, wants shade. They do not want to shine a light on their evil. People can't stand me. Once they get to know me, they can't stand me. They want to initially, if they're evil, feed off my energy and then realize that they cannot get shade in my light. Let's go to John chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God, and doth his will, him he heareth. And I talk about that in my videos where I was praying out to God after he had gifted me discernment for 2 years. And he did not hear my prayers. I was a sinner. And on top of that, I wasn't growing closer to him with his word. And now I've read the Bible 5 times. And God has blessed me. He has given me this newfound skin, like I've shed the skin of old after reading the Bible the 5th time, spending so many hours growing closer to God. And his message has become clearer to me. And I hope to bestow this onto you as a humble servant of the world. Right? Jesus Christ, the disciples were all saying, who's the greatest disciple? And Jesus Christ said, the greatest disciple is the servant of you all. Just like Jesus Christ was the servant for all of mankind, man and woman. And he was perfect. And he shed his perfect blood like the sheep without blemish, as the sacrificial lamb without blemish for the sins of the world. Let's go to Acts chapter 28, verse 11. And after 3 months, we departed in a ship of Alexandria, which had wintered in the isle, whose sign was Castor and Pollux. Now I put that in there. This is very interesting, just to prove to you how biblical this world is and how controlled Hollywood is by Satan. Because when I first heard that, because I have a good recall memory, Castor Pollux, where did they hear that from? And there was a movie in the 90s called Face Off with John Travolta and, I forget that actor's name, Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage plays a criminal, drug dealer named Castor Troy. And he has a brother named Pollux Troy. Look it up. I did. Right? What are the chances that the 2 lead characters in this movie are called Castor and Pollux right after the Bible? This whole world is a Bible. We're living in a simulation. There is nothing new under the sun. Right? Satan knows it, and no one pays attention to it, and the truth is in broad daylight for all of us to see. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. The natural man does not receive the things of the Spirit of God. It's a joke to them. Right? When we tell this to people of the world, they laugh at us. We talk about spiritual. As a matter of fact, I had mentioned to somebody that person has a demonic spirit in them, and somebody of this world, and they laughed at me. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Because they know so much and I know so little. Because they've sacrificed so much and I've sacrificed so little. So I don't debate with fools, right? Who's the bigger fool, you or the fool that you're debating with? Right? Don't debate with a fool. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 19 and 20. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Right? The wise are foolish in their own craftiness. The wisdom of the world is foolishness to God because He knows it's all lies. And we are children of God. We resonate in truth, but the tares, they resonate in lies. They love this world. They love the iniquity of this world. They don't want it to end. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 15. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them the members of a harlot? God forbid. And that's what I was doing. I was taking the members of Christ and conjoining with the members of a harlot. I was sinning against my own body, defying God, and bringing in a harlot into my world. I'm guilty of this crime. And I know many of you chosen ones out there are guilty of this crime too. But we can no longer, there is no sacrifice for sin once you know the truth. We can no longer willfully sin in the eyes of God. We have to flee this evil. We can no longer partake in this and expect to get the grace and mercy of God. Flee this, and God will reward you with your king or your queen. And you have to believe that, because we, as chosen ones, walk by faith, not by sight. But the tares of the world, they walk by sight. Their father, Satan. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 20 and 21. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for you will love one and hate the other, cling to one and despise the other. No man can serve God and mammon. You cannot sit at the table of the Lord's and the table of devils. You cannot sip from the cup of the Lord's and the cup of devils. God spits out the lukewarm. Pick a side. I know these tares have. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is in the image of God, should shine unto them. Satan has blinded the minds of these tares. They cannot see the light of God. Even if God were to try to illuminate the path, they're blinded by the mind of, their minds are blinded by Satan. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath the light with darkness? These people are in darkness. They are unrighteous. Us wheat are to have nothing to do with unbelievers, people that are ridden with the spirit of Antichrist, people that are the goats of Satan, the children of Satan. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. All these tares are carried about with every wind of doctrine. They're deceived by the doctrines of devils, the doctrine of men that are crafty, that are cunning. They lie in wait to deceive. These tares are part of this. They're trying to deceive you chosen ones. Don't let it happen. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Try every spirit to see if it's of God. See if you're dealing with a tare. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words. For because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Don't let the vain words of these deceivers bring forth the wrath of God unto you for being disobedient. Don't let it happen. These are the tares of the world. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 10 through 12. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And that's these tares, the children of Satan. They love unrighteousness. They love the lie. Let them believe the lie. Do not cast your pearls before swine. You cannot make straight what God has made crooked. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 and 3. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Right? So there's two different verses here, and I didn't have a lot of space here, so I had to put them together. But people are giving heed to doctrines of devils, departing from the faith, giving heed to seducing his spirits, because their father is Satan. And one of that doctrine of devils is vegan, right? Because God is telling you, do not abstain from meats. God put these meats here for us to consume. But Satan knows that these meats have nutrients in us that we need to aid us in this battle. And he's putting it out there, this whole vegan thing, right? And I wanted to talk about it here. That's when you're heeding to seducing spirits, doctrines of devils, you're falling victim to that because you're a tare. You're not in the truth. 2 Peter chapter, where is this? Oh, wow. Give me 1 second here. Oh, where is it? Sorry about that. Two Peter chapter 2, verses 20 and 21. Where was I? No, I skipped a few, I think. Sorry about that. Oh, no, we're going to go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. Sorry about that. Whew. I thought I was going to have to do another video. Thank God, no. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So the rich are caught up in a snare because they're no longer seeking out God. Their God is mammon, money, Satan. And they're adhering to their lusts, their foolish lusts. They drowned themselves in their own perdition. That's why the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, money within itself is a great defense. And God does not want all of his chosen ones poor. But you're going to have to be poor before God will bless you with wealth. And you have to go through it to get to it. We're going to go to Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. It's a little one. It's a big one. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. And God is warning us. That's the times that we're in, perilous times, with all these people that are lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. You need to turn away. You are not equally yoked with these people, chosen ones. You're going to have to pick a side. And part of you following God is departing from this evil. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 3 and 4. These are the tares, right? For the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap of themselves teachers, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. These tares don't want the truth. They want to believe in fables. They want to believe in astrology and the zodiac and space and retrograde Venus and Mercury and Jupiter and all this nonsense, right? This is what they want to believe. They don't want to believe the chosen ones and the seeds of truth that we're planting. They do not endure sound doctrine. So turn from them. Depart from these tares. Recognize who these people are and make your decision to depart because you're seeking out that narrow path. Let's go to Titus chapter 1, verses 15 and 16. Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. But even their mind and conscience is defiled. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. What does it mean to be reprobate? Reprobate is a mind that feeds off of wickedness, off of sin, right? They're defiled, they're unbelieving. Nothing about them is pure. Everything about them, everything in their conscience is defiled. They profess with their lips that they know God, but their heart is far from him. They don't have a book of works. They're abominable in the eyes of God. These are the tares. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So once you know the truth, chosen ones, and you go back to sin, there remains no more grace and mercy, no more sacrifice for your sins, right? You become a tare. James chapter 1, verses 8 and 13. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. So God is not tempting you, it's Satan who's tempting you, right? Trying to get you to lead a life of being a tare. And all these tares are double-minded. They're unstable. One day they say yes, the next day they say no. One day they say they love you, the next day they say they hate you. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. He's a tare. Let's go to James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. And all these tares, friends of the world, right? They're God's enemy. It's enmity with God. Being a tare, right? Being a child of Satan, being a friend of this world, hate this world, and you shall be embraced by God in Jesus Christ. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 20 and 21. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse with them than the beginning. For had it been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. And I put that verse in there because that describes people that were called by God, right? Many are called, few are chosen. And why are few chosen? Because they do not want to sacrifice. And when, it's like the parable of the sower. It's the seed that falls on stony ground. And when it falls on the stony ground, it's received with gladness and joy. But the minute adversity lurks in, it withers away because it has no foundation. And that are these people, right? That know the righteous way, know Jesus Christ, but they're entangled therein and they're overcome. They can no longer endure the tribulation and they go back to the world. And the latter end is worse for them than the beginning. Don't be this people, chosen ones. Don't be that terror. Don't be weak. Don't let Satan overcome you through this spiritual warfare. Put on the full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the boots of peace, the shield of faith, the sword, Put on the full armor of God and fight, because the wicked fear you. Don't give up. Going to go to Revelation chapter 3, verses 16 and 17. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. Right? So thee are lukewarm, God will spit you out. I'm doing this video for you chosen ones out there that are wheats, that are lukewarm, that are not on fire for God and Jesus Christ. You need to be on fire for God and Jesus Christ, like I am, doing 5 videos. Reading the Bible 10 hours yesterday, maybe more than that. Working over 12 hours. You got to be on fire for God. You got to pick a side. And I'm doing this video for you, to inspire you to want to pick a side and not be lukewarm. Let's go to Revelation chapter 9, verse 6. And in those days shall meek men seek death. Let me repeat that. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And that's coming, right? That's the torture of the judgment of God's wrath. In the last times, in perilous times, men shall seek death and not find it. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. Let's end it with a bang. These are the TARES, guys. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And that's the death that I'm trying to prevent you chosen ones from falling victim to, right? For going back to this world, because you're being battle tested, you're being challenged, you're under immense spiritual attack. I know it. I'm under it. And every day I fight, and I put out these videos to show the world and God that I won't give up, that I will fight for my brethren. I will fight for my eternal salvation. I will fight for my love in God and Jesus Christ. And I hope everybody in my audience feels the same way. I love you guys. All glory to God and Jesus Christ. May God abundantly bless you. Chosen ones, I hope you choose the path of the wheat to your eternal salvation. Till next video, guys. Take care.